Welcome to Open Arms, an honest conversation about firearms. Hey everybody, I'm your host Brian Lockerman, and today's episode is brought to you by Lioness Tactics. And also, we are giving away a free women's self-defense class from Lioness Tactics. So go and follow us so you're eligible to win. Today in the studio, I am so excited, I can't tell you. I'm just ready to go with this one. I have none other than Renee Stringer from Lioness Tactics. Welcome, Renee.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
This is just so fantastic you came in. It's my understanding you might have a little bit of gun training or something, right?
A little bit. Yes, I am a firearms instructor, and then I also teach self-protection, like self-defense.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, do you have classes or do you teach individual? What do you do?
I do both. I do private lessons, and then I also do classes and courses. I do a bunch of firearms courses out here at a local range.
Okay.
And then I also travel. I travel all over right now. So many people are getting a hold of me saying, hey, I have 16 students. Would you be able to go to Texas and train them?
Wow.
Absolutely.
Very nice. Very nice. So I understand too, you're getting a lot more people hitting you up on social media that are really wanting to do this, correct?
Yes. So LinkedIn has been my number one platform.
Really?
Yeah. I've been censored a lot on Instagram because of the guns and even on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
So I ended up going on LinkedIn and I hit about 1,500 followers in a day or so.
Really?
Yeah. But it's great because I have people reaching out. I have fathers, I have grandpas, I have boyfriends, and even women. Just they're like, "Hey, my spouse would like training, or my kids would need training. Would you be able to do that?" So that platform is huge right now. I mean, it's a professional platform, which is great, but you also have a bunch of a variety of professionals wanting to defend themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've been looking at your stuff since I discovered you, which was, believe it or not, it was recent. And our offices are what, 5 minutes apart?
Yeah.
And here we are.
5 minutes.
And I'm like, what? You're who and you're where? I'm like, no way. And I remember that day I went over to your office and sat down and talked to you. I'm just like, Renee, this is what this Project Open Arms is all about. And I said, you would be an asset to this show, and I would love you to come aboard. Watching what you do and your techniques and everything, and being a female, it's amazing. Because, a lot of females, they actually like having another female teach them.
100%. Yes. And also, what I've been finding too, a lot of men want a female teaching them too because they don't want that military guy yelling at them.
Exactly.
The females don't want to be judged by some military or police guy yelling, and they just want that almost like that comforting environment. They want to feel safe.
100%.
So I find that when I do teach, I came from a little bit of a law enforcement background. So when I was teaching law enforcement in military, I came from rah. So when I got more into the civilian world, I really had to tone that down. I was really more like, when my first female, she shot a gun and she started to cry. And I was like, there. I wasn't sure really what to do. I was like, this is a lot of emotion for me right now.
Oh, yeah.
But I've learned to just adjust and adapt to more of the civilian side, which is great because they truly respond to that emotion.
Exactly.
And it's very rewarding as an instructor to see how they really take in that information, where they break through that fear. They channel that fear into empowering themselves, knowing that they can handle this firearm safely.
Yes.
They know they can shoot it if they needed to.
Mm-hmm.
It's so powerful.
It is. And I mean, I commend you for that. I commend you for what you're doing too.
Thank you.
I mean, seriously, this is just amazing watching all your stuff that you're doing for the training and the classes and everything like that. Now, do you do? I know you do a lot of handgun. Do you do also long guns as well, shotguns?
Not so much shotguns.
Okay.
I don't see I see it kind of fading in and out with the shotguns right
Mm-hmm.
now. But the AR-15 platform,
Yeah.
I am really getting involved with that.
Very
I
nice.
believe that civilians should understand that platform, just the basics. Understand how to break it down, understand what it does and how it functions, understand the correct terms. It's not an assault rifle or automatic
No.
rifle. Understand where the history of the AR-15 platform came from. So I've been spending a lot of time. I just got finished with the USCCA instructor, the rifle instructor
Oh
fundamental
wow.
course. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to start teaching it. The way that they have broken down the AR-15 platform
Nice.
is
Nice.
incredible. And it's going to help. Honestly, this is why I'm so passionate right now about the AR-15 platform, because it's going to help a lot of people understand.
That's what it's all about, educating the people to
Yes.
understand. Exactly.
And it's not really been brought out there. I mean, I see a lot of courses and it's like, oh, let's do some transition. Let's do that. Okay, but not everybody's going to be clearing a house in military style or
Uh-huh.
or
Uh-huh.
or
Yeah.
like, please, this is a civilian. This is average Mrs. Smith waking up in the
Yep.
middle of the
Yep.
night and she's got her pajamas on and there's no extra pockets for her extra mag.
Yeah.
She's just going to grab whatever it is and
Exactly.
defend the home. So we need to start breaking down to the civilian level.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once we're there, and it's needed, and we see that right now transpiring with all the violence and the crime rate going up.
100%.
So people are wanting to know, and this is a perfect time to just start educating.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things we do too, we take the extra step and always go to their home and train them in their house, because it doesn't stop from the classroom to the range. The home is so important.
It is.
Because you got to teach them how to store the gun, how to retrieve the gun, how to clear a room. When you hear something, where's your family? You never want to pull that gun out unless you know you have your whole family behind you. It's just things like that, subtle things.
Absolutely. I
you
mean,
know?
I think it's very important that you help a family understand their SOPs.
Absolutely.
Because it used to be like, oh, there's a fire in the house or there's an earthquake. What are we going to do? Okay, well, now what are we going to do if somebody breaks in our house? I don't need to scare you guys,
Mm-hmm.
but let's go through this because we need to understand for our safety what we're going to do to defend ourselves.
Yep, I agree on that one.
And legally too, like what we are like the aftermath,
Yeah.
educating how the firearm safety is, understanding how to clear a room, but also understand the aftermath of using that firearm.
Exactly. It's funny you say it, because we had an attorney in here
Oh,
the other
great.
day, and we talked about that.
Oh.
And he kind of said it's still a gray area,
Mm.
which it is.
It is.
But my thought is this: if I feel myself or my family is in harm,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to protect them with any cause. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. I believe in family and family values, and I protect my family. So it's one of those things. Just
I agree. I mean, that's why I named my company Lioness Tactics, because hey, we're not going to go like a lioness does not go look for a fight at all. She'll watch, she'll observe everything. But if you want to pick a fight with her, she will finish one. She can handle her own, and so I believe that, like you said, everybody has the right to defend themselves and their family and loved ones.
Oh, absolutely, 100% on that. Okay, so your women's self-defense classes, where do you teach that? Where is the location?
I travel everywhere.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I don't have a location or a gym that I constantly
Okay.
do right now, just because I cannot commit with me working a lot right now. I feel bad that I can't commit a day out of the week for people to come in for an hour to do classes. So right now what I do is I just do seminars. So
All right.
if somebody calls me up and says, hey, I have 12 girls, or I want to put on this class for my gym, I show up with some pads and I ask, what kind of curriculum are you looking for? What do we want to really, talk about?
Very nice.
And so that right now, that's kind of what I'm doing. I've just been traveling all over teaching,
Wow.
which
That's
is
great. That's
to
great.
me, I mean, it's an honor that I don't like, oh, here's my gym. This is my set spot. I don't really have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
set
yeah.
spot.
Well, when is your next class in? What's the date?
April 23rd, I am
Okay.
doing a class out here in Simi Valley at 805. I believe it's 805 Sports.
Oh,
It's right there off of Los Angeles and Erringer.
okay. Good.
But that's my next women's self defense course. It's a 4 hour course, and we're going to be talking about self awareness. I think it's really huge to
Oh,
understand
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
De escalation, understanding how to really talk to somebody, do your verbal judo, and then, get into hand to hand combat with, understanding creating space and distance because distance is you need distance for time to either draw out that firearm.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about firearm safety. And then people who want to go more of the firearms direction, we will put on a course for a beginner firearm
Oh,
course.
that's wonderful. So where can people contact you to sign up for this?
They could go ahead and look on my website,
Okay.
linus.com.
Okay.
Yeah, linustactics.com. They also can look at my LinkedIn profile. They can Google Lioness Tactics, and I mean, I'm come up everywhere. You Google Renee Stringer, it's like I'm an open book.
Well,
But
I know. I'm telling you, going back, when my buddy told me about you, and I Googled it, I'm like, what? Where's
I have a
where's
huge
this girl been? I mean, you're right up the street from me, and I didn't even know
right.
that.
I feel like I'm like that little hidden gem
Yeah.
that's just now kind of coming up to surface.
Oh, yeah.
I'm absolutely loving what I do. Also, the recognition. I never thought that LinkedIn platform would be such a great platform to
Yeah.
get me
Yeah.
most of my jobs.
That's interesting.
Be busy.
Yeah, I would think more like the Instagram and stuff like that, but it's LinkedIn, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, you got doctors, you got people, chiropractors, dentists,
Hmm.
just that professional level
Yeah, yeah.
that is not on Instagram.
Gotcha, gotcha.
It's just a whole different platform. So, and these people want to be able to defend themselves, their business,
Yeah,
and their
exactly.
loved ones. So it's just really great. I feel bad because I have not answered all of my emails. I get emails so much during the day that I can't keep up with everything. So my apologies to everybody. Like I'm really, really sorry. I
Yeah.
do see that you're there. I am not ignoring you.
Oh, I know. I know. I'm trying to get a hold of you the other day, and it was like trying to get a hold of the president.
So bad.
That's all right.
And with being a mom and a wife, just when I get back from work, I just kind of hunker down and decompress.
Good, good.
So I don't know if most people know that I do executive protection and I protect high profile clients. And I've been traveling a lot more with that because female agents are needed. So
Very,
when I
very
get
nice.
home, it's kind of like that
Yeah.
decompressing.
Oh, I can see that for
Yeah.
sure.
And so that's also why I haven't been putting on many courses right now
Uh-huh.
because work has picked up on that side. And I want to make sure that I give my full commitment to every individual student that gets there in that
Yeah.
course. So I am going to be doing courses towards the end of April. So look for firearm courses
Okay.
and then also more self defense. But you're going to see the AR-15
Ah,
platform come
nice,
out a
nice.
lot,
Very nice.
especially towards the end of April and May, because I believe that we need to educate
Oh,
because the media makes it so worse.
I know.
So it's like this is the time to do what we need to
Mhm.
do.
You're absolutely right about that. Here's a question for you. Do you ever come across a situation where you think that someone's maybe not mentally stable to have that gun and comes to you or anything like that?
I have not had a student or anybody come to me.
Mhm.
That is a very that's a very hard thing,
It is. It is. And back in the day when we were doing our training, I mean, years ago, we'd have like a couple come to want to purchase a gun and get trained, and they said, "Hey, look, our son is not really mentally stable. We don't know about bringing this gun home. What do we do?" And we would tell them, "Look, you got to find him help somehow out there." We
Yeah.
just say, "Figure it out, find some help." But now we're actually partnering up with a organization called Walk the Talk America.
Oh, it's great.
They are amazing, and that's what they focus on. And they focus on guns and mental health. And it is such a good,
We
good
need that.
group. I know, a great group of people. And this is like the answer that we've been looking for to place people in this program.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think that's great, especially, now mentioning something like that. April is the awareness of domestic violence and self-defense for women. And I've had a couple women who were in a domestic relationship that want to own a gun, but I felt like they were not mentally prepared to
Yeah.
have that for
Yeah.
a gun.
Yeah, I
So,
get
I
it.
mean, opening up some of these things where they can actually talk about it
Mm-hmm.
and go somewhere safe and where we can refer people to, that's unbelievable. I
Yeah,
mean, it's a
it's
huge
fantastic.
issue that needs to be
It
addressed.
really is. He's a good friend of mine who started a company, Mike Sodini. He's amazing. I worked with him years ago. He was with Eagle Arms. He was
Okay.
importers. Bursa was one of the biggest companies he imported, and they were a sponsor of our show back in the day. And we've always stayed in contact. When he opened this thing up, I said, "Dude, this is right up our alley. This is what we need for the show."
Yeah.
100%. So he's going to be coming on the show here in a couple weeks. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Love to meet
yeah,
him.
for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, and, the whole mental health thing too. I always go back to the family values. We want to always also really push family values.
Big
That's
time.
so important these days.
It is. And I mean, families are now working just to survive.
Uh-huh.
We're not home as much as we need to be home with our kids. It's
I know.
not like the old school, like when I was growing up. I'm going to date myself. When your parents were really there, where we sat down and ate dinner at the dinner table. I mean,
That's me. That's
we don't do that anymore. It's like,
Nope.
oh, there's TV,
I know it, right?
game on, let's go. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not core values as it is. But when you actually had that time to take down, like, turn off your cell phone and sat down
Yes.
at the dinner table.
Yes.
How was your day? Communication's huge right now. If you notice, communication has gone away. It's now texting. A
I
lot
know.
of the younger generation
know
does
it.
not know how to handle confrontation
They don't. They
you
don't.
know, and
They're
so
scared.
mhm.
They just cower up, and I know.
And
We would talk to our mom and dad every night for dinner. And if I
yeah,
had a problem in school, I could tell them about it.
it's not like that
No, it's
anymore.
not. It's not.
And I try to bring these values to my kids, like, hey, you
Yeah.
gotta talk, we gotta communicate, keep that communication open. Because I don't want my kids to be like that generation just is so fearful,
I agree. I agree 100%.
and that, I mean, social media and media is our enemy, but why not use this to our advantage now, educating?
Yeah. Yes.
And if there's a platform that's allowing us to do it, especially like LinkedIn, please don't. I'm like, don't. What is it? What is it? The Instagram's doing shadow ban me,
Oh,
please.
shadow ban. Yeah.
Please don't
I
shadow
think
ban me.
we're
But
getting shadow banned. We are. Yeah,
it's
I know.
terrible.
I know.
But I feel like the younger generation is whatever they read on social media is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So if we can start bringing facts in and backing them up with the history and the what and the why, we really are going to make an impact on the way that people think about firearms,
I
about the
agree.
AR platform.
Yes. Yes.
I couldn't, how would I say it? I could not, how would I express, like, this is the time to do it. I
Yeah.
can't find the word, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, right now, it is like people are so hungry
It's
to protect themselves.
Yep.
Now, understanding the functions of a firearm and the AR is 100% to bring it in and introduce it to them.
100% education. Educate everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You educate people, you'll save lives. Yeah,
Yes.
as simple as that.
I agree, because right now they need to understand that guns are falling in the wrong hands of people. It's not the law-abiding citizens that are owning the firearms. It's the people who want to harm other people.
Yep, that's true.
And
That's true.
and we need to just start there.
I know it.
And
know it.
the more education that you have, and people see it, they're like, oh, that's not what. Yeah.
You're right. You're right about
So we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm excited to. Honestly, I'm excited for this year.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of changes. Not just I see victories for us in the firearm industry.
I do too. I do
And
too.
that is unheard of. So the way that things have been in the world, for us to have these victories are huge.
Yes.
So it's going to be a good year for us.
I agree with that. I agree. Well, Renee, I really do appreciate everything you're doing. I think it's fantastic. I can't say enough about you to people. I talk
Oh,
to
thank
talk to
you.
everybody about you, and I really do hope we can start working together on the Project Open Arms.
I would love
I
to.
think it'd be fantastic.
Hmm.
And one more time, give everybody where they can contact you again. Just one last time here.
You can find me on my website,
Okay.
lionestactics.com. You can find me on LinkedIn as Renee Stringer, Instagram, Lioness Tactics, Facebook, you can find Lioness Tactics, Twitter, Lioness Tactics. And then if you just can't find me, then Google Renee Stringer. I'll come up.
Very nice. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. I like to bring you back for more shows, talk about different other subjects,
I would love
in
that.
the future. It'd be fantastic. And I would like to also maybe grab one of your students after they've taken your women's self-defense class and sit down and talk to them about the experience. That would be fantastic.
Oh, that would be great. They would love that.
That'd be good. Well, thanks again, Renee. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure too. Thank you.
Everybody, that's our show for today. And always remember, safety, family, and the Second Amendment.